Hello, coin collectors out there. Welcome back to the Big D Coins channel. Hopefully, everyone is having a great day as always. In today's video, we are going to be talking about these coins right here. We've got the 1989 Denver Mint Jefferson Nickel, and we have the 1989 Philadelphia Minted Jefferson Nickel. And in the video, we are going to talk about the obverse design, the front side right here. We will talk about the reverse side design right here. We'll get into the metal content of these coins. We'll talk about the mintages of them, how many of them that were made, and we'll talk about the values associated with each of these two coins right here. We'll also compare and contrast these two coins to the more modern Jefferson nickel, which is this one right here. In 2009 actually happens to be a very special year for the Jefferson nickel because the mintages were actually quite low compared to the other years. So 2009 was part of a economic recession in the United States, and because of that, there wasn't a lot of coins that were needed for circulation. In addition, a lot of people were hoarding them, so they didn't really need any new supply of coins, so the mint really drastically decreased the production of these 2009 nickels and dimes. So if you have one that's in good condition, it would make sense to put it in a little plastic encasing like I've done right here. All right, we'll come back to that 2009 nickel. But like I said, let's start with this nickel right here, which is the more classic design of the Jefferson nickel. This design was used from 1938 up until 2003, and then they started to kind of switch the design around in 2004. That was part of the Westward Journey design that started to be made in 2004. That ran up until 2006, and then they switched it over to the Return to Monticello, which we'll talk about with that 2009 Jefferson nickel. Now, as far as the mintages of these two coins go right here, they were much higher than that 2009, which we'll talk about. For 1989, at the Denver Mint, the mintages were 50,842,474 at the 1989 Denver Mint. They also made coins that year, as indicated right here, at the Philadelphia Mint. So in 1989 at the Philadelphia Mint, they made 889,812,000 of these. Now, these two coins will have the same value associated with them, despite the fact that there are about 300 million less of these made compared to these ones right here. These will have a value of 25 cents at a mint state 63 condition. So a mint state means that it looks like it came directly from the mint. It doesn't have any scratches. It's still got all of the original luster of the coin. These two right here are both well circulated. Well, this one is especially well circulated. This one right here is in decent shape. A few nicks and scratches, but it doesn't really take away from the overall image of the coin. So very high mintages for these 2 years. As I said, 1989, 898 million at the Philadelphia, 570 million at the Denver, 25 cents for a mint state 63, $2.75 for a mint state 65. Those are mint state condition coins, not the circulated coins that you see right here. As far as the design, this one right here is the best, so I'll zoom in. So we can see the engraver's initials right here, FS. That's on the obverse side of the coin. Once we get into the more modern coins, the engraver's initials move to the back side right there. So we can see the engraver's initials on the obverse side in 1989. And then they switch over to the back side right there. Now we see Thomas Jefferson. He was the third president of the United States from 1801 till 1809. When we flip it over to the reverse side of the coin, we see a representation of Monticello. This is President Thomas Jefferson's Virginia home. Now that's the same kind of same basic design that we see on the more modern Jefferson nickels. However, they have touched up quite a few things just to make the details a little bit finer on the more modern Jefferson nickels once we get past that 2003 date. See on the back, we see E Pluribus Unum, Monticello, 5 cents, United States of America. And as we see, the engraver's initials aren't right here. They're on the obverse side of the coin. Now, the design is the same for these two coins. The same design was used from 1938 until 2003, like I mentioned earlier. The metal composition of these coins are a copper nickel clad. These are 75% copper, 25% nickel. They do have a weight of 5 grams, which, is your expected weight for a nickel, but that's significantly heavier than a penny. And because of that, there is a decent amount of metal that goes into these. They've got a weight of 5 grams. So at 75% copper, 25% nickel, these will have a value associated with them of melt value. So if you melted them down just to their base metals, that'd be worth about 8.5 cents per coin. So these coins cost more to produce than they are in actual face value of the coin. However, of course, you can't melt them down because that is illegal. Well, you can melt them down. You can't sell them or do anything if you melt them down. So $8.50, 8.5 cents worth of metal in these two coins right here. Now let's get into the differences between that design that we were looking at earlier. I'll keep the nicer Denver Mint coin out and compare it to the Philadelphia Mint right here. So obviously a design change on the obverse side. We've still got the In God We Trust, Liberty, and the date and the mint mark. However, quite a different design from 1989 until 2009. And here's a little bit about the 2009. 2009 had extremely low mintages and sold at premiums ever since the coin started to appear in the channels of circulation. Interestingly, the first Philadelphia Mint coins didn't surface until June of 2009, while the Denver Mints didn't appear until 2010. Typically, mintages of circulating 5-cent coins are in the hundreds of millions, like we were talking about with the 1989. However, the 2008 and 2009 economic crisis slowed the movement of coins within circulation and caused Americans to cash in hordes of old change. So Americans cashed them in, so Mint didn't need to make any more of them because the Americans cashed them in. Because of that, the 2009 Philadelphia Mint, which is what we see right here, only had a mintage of 39,840,000. And the Denver Mint had a mintage of 46,800,000. That represented the lowest mintage of the circulating coin strike since 1959. Rebound of the mintages occurred in 2010. It was just kind of low for 1 year. So if you catch that 2009, definitely hang on to it because the mintages ramp right back up in 2010. For the reverse design, well, first we'll talk about a little bit more about the obverse design right here. It's just a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States. This is kind of a rebranded kind of image of him compared to this one right here. And then when we flip it over, we see the Monticello, his same Virginia home on the reverse side right here. Now, we talked about the mintages are much lower for these years, and because of that, they sell at a premium. Now, the Red Book Guide to Coins has the 2009 value of these at a mint state 63 for the Philadelphia Mint, at $3, and $3 for the Denver Mint as well, and $5 for a mint state 65. Now, keep in mind that's compared to what we were looking at earlier for 1989, which had a value of 25 cents and $3. So the values of these 2009s are much more rare than that 1989 that we were looking at earlier. All right, everyone, that's all the info that I've got for you today on these 2009 and 1989 Philadelphia and Denver Mint Jefferson Nickels. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you are into coin collecting, please do check out some of the other videos on this channel. Thank you very much for watching, everyone, and best of luck coin collecting out there. Enjoy!